I want to chat with you today about breathing because we're seeing it all over the place. News, books, media outlets. It's great that it's becoming mainstream for us to better understand the benefits of breathing and our health. However, it's also creating a lot of confusion for people because there's so many drills and tools and equipment and exercises that we're supposed to use, and this is what's going to help us breathe better. I want to help you in today's movement library so that you can navigate your way through all this new information so that you can train yourself for better respiration. Before we go into a three-step check-in, I want to first start with you better understanding your nervous system. Remember, any stimulus, any activity is always going to affect your brain, and how it interprets it is going to affect essentially the output of what you're trying to work towards. Now, if your nervous system is not liking the exercise, you will know, and that's through these 3 rules that I actually created a video on, but let's just go over it rather quickly. Rule number 1 is for you to consciously ask yourself, am I safe with this movement? I always say a bad attitude or a sour attitude is there to protect you, because if you don't feel safe with any of the movement, and especially when it comes towards all these different breathing exercises, some clients might feel like they're hyperventilating, that they're suffocating, and it's terrifying. If you don't like it, you're never going to practice it, and you're never going to create any neuroplastic change. So know what feels good for you, and if it doesn't make you feel safe, you can back off on an exercise. That's okay. Coming into rule number 2 is checking in with the body. Is the body relaxed? Am I able to be long through the spine? This is a physical reaction of the body when the nervous system is telling us, I don't know, also known as startle reflex. Third is coming into the breath. While we're wanting to focus in on respiratory retraining in this video, it is still interesting that when we are holding our breath or we're breathing really high or really shallow, it's another indication of the nervous system putting the brake on, telling us this is way too much, way too new, way too intense, so regress the movement, and that is okay. Let's continue with our 3-step check-in. You're going to address 3 things with any new respiratory exercise. Step number 1 is about checking in with the question, how do I breathe? I think that's really important to have a baseline, to have an understanding. Most of us don't have any relationship at all with us and our breath. Coming into step number 2, we then check in by asking ourselves, how am I supposed to breathe? This is also observational, but it starts to bring in more information as we want to ideally correct bad habits with good. Step number 3, checking in with, so how do I train to breathe? And this is really important to understand that training is a process. There's nothing magical about an exercise, a drill, a tool, a piece of equipment that's going to create lasting change. Neuroplasticity takes quantity and quality. It's about frequency and load, and that's why training is so important. And that's why we need these 3 steps to use no matter the drill, the exercise, or the equipment. There's so much more that you can use to help you better your breathing, but it really comes down to you better knowing your nervous system and what works best for you. Thanks again, guys.